Hi, it's Sunday, March 21st, and I'm Mark Friedman, still just an American citizen. We're talking about foreign policy. On to part two of China. I opened up with part one. I hope that gave you a background. And now let's talk about how we have to deal with China and some of the issues that are out there right now. As you know, China will re-educate you without thinking twice. They did it with Mao. They did it with whomever they could get a hold of. Now we got the Uyghurs, a major group of Muslims that the Chinese are taking and just sticking in re-education camps and trying to rip away their beautiful heritage and everything they have, the Uyghurs, because you got to be like Chinese, you got to be exactly what Xi wants you to be. It's like Mao. Re-education, do what we tell you to do. Well, that's a problem, and that's a problem for them. Hong Kong, which is Chinese, and everybody probably knew, I think they were talking about it when the deal was signed with the British, the Guai that the terms weren't going to go as long as everybody hoped. China was going to make the move. China's not going to put up with people who want to say what's on their mind. Because remember, we talked about it, top down. If you challenge the top, then you're finished. But it makes for a really wobbly and bad foundation, because really the only people you get down there are functionaries who believe in you, but will only fill in the blanks to try to make sure you're happy, you boss man. Because that's all it really is there, men. Boss man up there. So we have to deal with that. We have to deal with the Chinese, with their Navy, trying to take over the entire Sea of China. Well, doesn't look like that's going to happen. And how should we have done that? How should we do it? How should we have done it? Well, you've seen it. I've said it 4, 5, 6 times. Trump blew it big time. The Obama foreign policy wasn't that good. I was not a major supporter of the Obama foreign policy. But when he put together the partnership between Thailand, Vietnam, Korea, Japan, and we put it together, the Trans-Pacific Partnership. You've heard me talk about it, the PPP. That was not only an economic grouping, but it would become a defensive grouping. I believe the Philippines were a part of it also. And everybody would have come together because that group was afraid of the Chinese. So instead of them have to stand alone, we were all going to stand together. You either hang together or you hang alone. And Trump came in and threw it out. One of the dumbest moves anybody could ever make. So everybody says he made a great move by yelling and getting on China. No, he didn't. He was way behind the curve, and we had allies who wanted to be with us to take on China, and he did not understand it. And I'm not new saying this. I said this 4 years ago when he came into office, that this was going to happen either way. So now what we have to do, and the Biden administration is starting to do it, is we have to start getting allies again. It's important. China is gigantic. They do this Belt and Road thing. They're throwing cash at everybody, hoping to make the rest of the world debtors so they can pool on them. They don't understand people. When people can't pay, they're not going to pay. But that's down the road. Right now, we have to compete by letting people see we do have a democracy. We put it out there. Yeah, they talk about our problems. We got problems. I say it at the beginning of every video. What's wrong with that? We admit it. That's why we're a great country. We deal with it. That's why we're a great country. We have issues, but we deal with it. Unlike these people, like in China, not people, the government in China, who won't deal with reality sometimes because the reality is their reality, and that's our strength. So as we move forward with others and start building up these partnerships around the world, or in the Pacific or the Southeast Asian area and that whole area there, then that helps us economically and that helps us defensively and makes the Chinese realize that we are the adversary. As I said, we should be halfway between adversary and competitor. We don't have to be sure don't have to be a total adversary. That makes no sense. But it'll let China know that we are there and we are a real competitor. And right now, China, which thinks they got everything rocking and going their way, will realize as their pollution collapses, as their population collapses because they have issues with women, what are they going to do? Steal women and bring them in? What are they going to do in China? As people start getting angrier after a while when they find that they can't have the economy they were hoping to have because people at the top are telling everybody at the bottom what to do. and they don't know. So that's how we do it. We take them on, make friends. This is foreign policy. We make friends, we move forward, make those friendships in treaties, and meet the Chinese head on. Not as adversaries, but somewhere between competitors and adversaries. They'll respect that, and we'll respect them, and maybe be able to move forward and see how we go down the road. But right now, it's horrible, and that's how we have to move. Peace.